And we're live. Greetings, Pirate Council. May our tall tales please you. When last we left our heroes, they had found the last will and testament for the famed Captain Featherstorm, notorious Aarakocra pirate, who lived sort of in around 200 years ago, causing mischief all along the Auroran Isles.
They were interrupted in their searching for his lost vault by Kraken cultists attempting to unleash a gargantuan water elemental upon the town. Driving off the cultists and stopping their evil rituals, the crew made a deal with the builders in the town. In exchange for helping them, they have and investing in the town's reconstruction. They have taken over Featherstorm's old tower in the center of town. I'd like to go around, though, and just go get a bit of a refresh what your characters have been up to over the last week or so as you've been looking in different port towns looking for one Verity Kyle.
You have that Excel spreadsheet, by the way?
Sure.
I'll go last.
Yeah. Do you remember? Does anyone actually remember what they were doing?
This is like our downtime stuff?
Yeah. So, Yama, we've got mapping, practicing. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that was the old one. Blessing the boat.
He did the ship shield, which he got a natural 20, so he crushed that. He's been tinkering and brewing some tea, with which he was successful, and experimenting with swimming at the same time, so now he can breathe underwater.
Hell yeah.
His divine sense, he's been improving and sharpening his senses. I believe I picked aberrations for that. So that's been added to his list of sensible. He was trying using letters from Tempura and asking him where he is to map the locations of the hobgoblins, which I think he was a bit too forthright and did not do well with that one.
Yeah. I think that was a natty 1 in game terms, but everything else you were doing quite well. The blessing of the boat, coming up with your new teas, and your improved divine sense has all been working quite well. Let us go to Karu. Do you remember what you've been doing, or would you like a refresher?
I mean, I know I meditated. I think Karu was doing a bit of a self-wellness camp. And I know he meditated to essentially reconnect with his blood hunter training to see if he could, if he could improve on his blood curses. I think the idea was to swap one of them out.
Yep.
For a different one. I know he didn't do super great with his wellness. Maybe he was distracted by something. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to go for a swim, but he kept being like, no. I need to focus on me and being on land and being on the boat. And I know he tried to start up a calisthenics class on this boat. Didn't get too many takers, but was it Avalon, as always, up the front, ready to go. And then he honed in on his because he's been transforming more often, he honed in on his bloodlust issues that he sometimes has, to essentially downplay those effects the next time he used the transformation. Which I think was he got an advantage on the check or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, so you'll have advantage on resisting, hitting your allies, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. And now I'm looking at here. You have, or Karu.
It's not on this Excel spreadsheet. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
It is on the spreadsheet. It's on the downtime tracking 2 page tab. Karu has 1 stress, and Yama has 2. And Kara did attempt to do some recreation, but failed to kind of relieve that stress. So both of you trying to get a lot of plates in the air, perhaps spinning a lot of plates, trying to get a lot done in a short amount of time is kind of pushing you to your limits. And so you've each got stress, and what we'll need you to work out is what you're going to do with that stress. So you can either assign, for each stress you have, assign one skill that you are proficient in that you will have disadvantage on while you are stressed, or 2 skills you are not proficient in.
I like this. This is cool.
Right. Okay.
And you should be able to, perhaps in D&D Beyond, just kind of flag it in customize or something, maybe. I don't know if you can, or just mentally kind of, we'll just have to remember it. But which skills are kind of going by the wayside as you, as you try and get a little bit too much done each day. While you're having to think of that, Paulie, do you want to give us a bit of a recap of what you did? Because Timmy wasn't here when the rest of the crew was doing their downtime.
No. Yes. So, we had a conversation. This is obviously also Dan fucking how useless I am, and proves that I've not really worked any office job ever. I don't even know. I didn't even realize there was a little tab thing down the bottom of that Excel spreadsheet. So thank God for you wrote it down. Cool. So Paulie, first thing he wanted to make sure he got done was teach the crew. Just make sure that like more people understood how sailing works, and keep everyone efficient and understanding of how we all do it. And I smashed that. Thank God for reliable talent. It's pretty good. So yeah, I taught some of the crew sailing. I can't remember who he chose, but there were some people who were like, let's make them more proficient in sailing.
I think it was the main crew to begin with, right? You're spending some time with Karu, Yama, etc.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I think normally they'd be adding a D6 to their sailing proficiency, any kind of sailing proficiency rolls, but we're going to be upgrading that to a D8. So kind of increasing that upper level of your sailing abilities.
And then next, it was just straight up piracy. Just making some dollar bills, y'all. Increase the wealth of the ship, get the crew paid, make us a bit richer. Which I think we got was it 2 or 3? Wealth?
I think 2 in the end, yeah. So you've kind of paid the crew, and you've got sort of 2 wealth points. These are almost like inspirations where you can kind of spend a level of treasure. It's sort of an abstract level of wealth to, make a huge purchase, or, make something change in the world that wouldn't have a set value. It's sort of, you're just spending money to make things happen.
And we pirated the Emerald Trading Company, They should never have given us a ship and let us start pirating again, really. It was their own fault.
Yeah.
Really. I really wanted to, like Paulie also really wanted to recruit some more living sailors. He likes the zombies, but I mean, we need a bit more fun than that. And in the end, who he recruited was another little pal, and he's a powder monkey. So literally a monkey that helps load up guns. And his name is Nibbles.
I love him.
Yeah, he Nibbles the powder monkey. Paulie did some basically did an exhibition at one of the ports we were at, and was flying, flying around and swinging from the ropes. Karu was helping, kind of like to swing people, so I helped swinging people around, making an obstacle course, and the only one who passed it was Nibbles.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love that. And then finally,
as pre-prep for this episode, Paulie went pre-gambling. So he gambled.
Warm-up gambling.
Yeah, I spent 1,000 gold. I gambled 1,000 gold. But I won because I ended up wagering my goggles in the night and 1,000 gold, and ended up getting 1.5k back. So, 1.5k profit. That's pretty fucking good if you ask me. I wagered the goggles in the night and got something else, didn't I?
That's right. So I'm just seeing if I can find the items.
1.5. So I made 500 gold, right? In my gambling.
Was
it 1.5k again?
Yeah. So you wagered one, and then you got back 1.5 total. So you essentially made 500 gold. But you also ended up getting a necklace of ocean pearls. This is similar to a necklace of fireballs, but so it's a necklace of pearls where you pull one of the pearls off and throw it, and it casts the spell Aqueous Blast, which is kind of like the water version of Fireball. And so it was a necklace with 3 pearls on it that you can pull off, throw one of these, and do up to 4d8 bludgeoning damage and kind of push people around with a big sphere of water.
Do I just put it on like a necklace of fireballs and then just know it's Aqueous Blast instead?
Yeah, that can work. Yeah, just maybe customize the name or something.
Sure.
I'll link the actual spell because it's not like it's sort of like from a different book.
And then a lure light too.
Yeah, I was looking at different items, so you don't get the lure light as well. That was just in my notes. You greedy prick.
If I reads it, I gets it.
That's right. And we have a D-Barts, I think. Let me add his handsome face.
I'm drinking my new wine, eating Cheez-Its.
Lovely.
Class.
Killian, you've been spending your time. We're just going through sort of the downtime that everyone's been doing between interrupting the Kraken cult and finding out about the secret vault. Do you remember what you've been doing, or would you like me to give you some hints?
I know that I was studying over the tomes, trying to learn more, get better at what I do, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Doing some self-discovery.
Some self-modification, perhaps, as well, as you were attempting to transmute your body to kind of lessen the mark that was left on you by these cultists. That seems to be flaring up occasionally, but you kind of are putting a lot of attention towards that, so you've kind of suppressed that very well for now.
I do like to think that this idea came apart after a really long night with Ratty.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to become friends with Ratty. We did some stuff, and then I woke up and the mark was less, and I was like, "What do you know about this?" And Ratty's like, "Oh, there. Don't worry, mate. You did some shit, but they're all squeaks."
Very good. Spend some time investigating the trident that you did steal from the sea people, which kind of raised their ire of them and their gods. And doing some more hitting the books, as you said, they're hitting the tomes, investigating Captain Featherstorm specifically. You learnt of his quartermaster, which was one Verity Kyle, and you learnt where they can be found, which was in a port town. They had kind of quit the piracy life and opened up their own bar, and that is where you're headed. That's ostensibly where you've sort of plotted a course for. I had it written down here. The Brine's Widow is her venue. And then you were doing some more investigations into buffing your arcane tensor, which I cannot remember what you were trying to do. I've just written arcane tensor buff in here.
Basically, just trying to turn myself into a dragon.
Aha, yes.
No, that was it. That was it. I was trying to figure out how I could pair my dragon summoning magic in with my arcane tensor magic, and I can turn myself more into a spiritual dragon instead of summoning a dragon, because I already have wings. So like I'm already halfway there.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to get a little bit better at that.
Not a homebrew megalodon.
Well, no, apparently not. Now I'm a dragon. Now I'm a homebrew dragon man.
Yeah, I definitely think with the you got 23, so you're definitely on your way with this. I think using the arcane or using your Tensor's transformation, I think you'll still get that those normal kind of stuff you get from that, but we'll say you also get perhaps the breath weapon as well for now. Or one of the resistances if you prefer. But like you can kind of get one aspect of the dragon thing in so far. You haven't got like full dragon transformation, but you can kind of combine.
Like a dragon's claw attack.
Oh yeah.
And I just get like claws.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy with that.
Sweet, because Tensus gives me so much force damage on a hit.
Mm.
And it's melee hits only.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. All right. So that is what everyone has been doing over the last few weeks as you're sort of stopping in at different port towns, making some time to harass Emerald Trading Company vessels, and of course do plenty of calisthenics and training. Tonight's session begins with an air of anticipation. As the carriage bumps along the cobblestone road, the night sky is clear, and the moonlight casts an ethereal glow on the path ahead of you. As you approach a fork in the road, a freshly painted and lacquered sign catches your eye. In gaudy, gold lettering, it declares, "This way to the Afterlife," with a big red arrow pointing down the narrower branch. Following the sign, the carriage takes you a short distance to a cobbled turnaround where other carriages and drivers wait. The sound of distant laughter and music drifts through the air, hinting at the excitement that lies ahead. Stepping from the carriage, you're greeted by a red-robed tiefling, their eyes gleaming with a welcoming warmth as they bow slightly. "Welcome to the Afterlife. Please follow me." They direct you down a brightly lit row of docks where sleek wooden boats bob gently on the river's edge. The casino's entrance is visible just a short distance away, carved into the mouth of a wide cave. The sound of the river, nicknamed the River Styx, flowing into the cavern adds to the mystique of the evening. You step into one of the waiting boats, and the farrier, another tiefling in a crisp uniform, expertly navigates the craft downriver. The boat glides smoothly over the water, and as you approach the cavern's entrance, the sound of distant music and a faint waterfall echo through the air. As the cave mouth swallows your boat, the ceiling rises high above your heads, a cathedral of natural stone adorned with hanging stalactites. Dancing lights bob around the stalactites, casting playful shadows that dance along the cavern walls. The river winds through the casino floor, splitting the cavernous chamber in two and passing under arched stone bridges at various points. The casino floor is a marvel of excitement and opulence. Card tables and other gaming stations, surrounded by chattering patrons, fill the open space. The decor suggests both the thrill of opportunity and the excess of the nine hells themselves. A cheer rises from deeper within the cavern, punctuating the hum of a conversation and the clinking of chips. And as the farrier steers your boat towards the left bank, it gently bumps against a wooden dock. Thrill of the arrival goes through your spine. And with a flourish, the farrier raises one hand and gestures at the glittering sights before you. "Welcome to the Afterlife. Temptation awaits."
Yes.
There better be a pirate named Johnny Silverhand in here.
Dad's
All I'm thinking about is like Cyberpunk, like the club in Cyberpunk, the Afterlife.
Yeah.
That's
But-
cool.
How did we get here?
That's so cool.
Days earlier, you're arranged in the back rooms of the Brine's Widow. Standing before you is Verity Kyle, a striking tiefling woman who looks kind of like this.
Sick.
Deep crimson skin and curling black horns. Her eyes are a piercing amber, glowing with a mix of cunning intelligence and rebellious spirit. She wears a well-worn leather coat adorned with numerous pockets and buckles, a testament to her years of experience. A bandolier across her chest holds various vials, tools of her trade, and her tail sways lazily behind her in a sign of casual confidence. That golden Aryan statue, it's more than just a pretty prize. It's a symbol of power, and taking it from Queenie will be a mighty fine feather in our cap. Do this for me, and I'll tell y'all everything you want to know about Featherstorm and how to access his vault. Sugar, I'll even tell you which neck the Vertex Diamond's sitting on. Remember, y'all, this ain't just about the gold. It's about sending a message. We don't take kindly to being cheated, and we sure as hellfire don't let it slide. Verity's presence is commanding, and her voice rich with a deep southern accent. Carries an undeniable authority tempered by a hint of playful mischief. Despite her rugged appearance, she moves with the grace and precision of someone who spent a lifetime on the high seas. So, we're assuming that you've all agreed to the casino heist. We've kind of dropped you in media res here. However, we're taking a step back. The crew will have a couple of stages. We're going to do a sort of stakeout and planning. Then we'll do the actual execution. And of course, assuming all goes well, the getaway. Once we're in the execution stage, anything that comes up that you kind of weren't prepared for, we will have opportunities for you to go, hey, would I have done this? Or could I have planned for this? And we can kind of go from there. So don't feel too bad about, getting everything done in the planning stage.
Yeah.
It'll be very, Ocean's 11-esque where, it turns out we planned for this all along. The audience just didn't see it. So you'll have some time to kind of get some questions in for Verity or some questions to me, the DM, about or describing how you go about kind of staking out the venue, what the thing is you're meant to be stealing, and your potential getaway. But we're going from the assumption that you have agreed to this deal, stealing the Aranya statue in exchange for information about the Vertex Diamond and how to access the vault.
All right, Toombs, you ready? I'm so excited. This is sick.
I'm so excited already.
So it's been a couple of weeks. Who wants to go first and perhaps describe, why don't you start again? Describe what your character looks like sitting here in the Brine's Widow. Or if you want to just open a scene of, I've described the casino and the approach to the casino. If you want to describe a scene where you're, tailing employees, you're scoping out the entrance, the exits, where do you want to jump in and who wants to jump in first?
Is Yama and Karu doing the high roller and his dice girl thing that we were talking about?
We got to think job roles for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have to think job roles for everyone. That's a good point. All right, so who wants to draw the map? We have to start with pan out of we have to get the blueprints. That's what we're gonna do. So let's find the architect for Afterlife. That's the first thing we need to do, guys, and we need to steal the blueprints of Afterlife. You up for it? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So who's stealing these blueprints, or who's describe to me what's the method you go about this?
You don't steal blueprints from the building. They don't keep the blueprints of the building in the building.
No, that's what I said. No, from the architect who designed the Afterlife.
Yeah, where we gotta scope out where they are.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to the building just yet. The first thing we need to do is get the blueprints.
Okay. I like to think that Karu walks around the outside of this building. I don't know if that's actually possible, Dan, to be like, this is how big it is.
Maybe
while you guys go and do the useful thing, which is get the blueprints, Karu's like, no, I've mapped out the space by swimming around the outside.
You're probably best suited for that, Karu, because as you go to discover eventually, once you start looking into the Afterlife casino, it is actually inside a mountain, sort of inside a cavern system with a river running through it. And the only access in is typically by boat, by small rivercraft. And they have sort of farriers that will manage that, and then they bring the boats back out and have to kind of row them upstream. You would notice, I think, pretty easily if you're going in underwater, it's a river, but it's not crazy deep. You still have to maybe be a little bit stealthy on on your approach, or you can't get right into the casino without being seen, I think, unless it's sort of like pitch black at night. But you feel the currents in the river, and at some point in that cave or beyond that cave, it drops off into a waterfall. And so you can't, at least from the outside, you can kind of get a scope of how big the cave is from the outside, but without trying to attempt to kind of sneak in directly. It's kind of hard to get a layout from the outside.
I was mostly describing Karu not doing something particularly useful. Maybe he just wanted to go for a swim in the river to see if it was made of good luck or something for when they go casino hunting, but everyone else actually goes and gets the blueprints the right way.
Yeah.
Well, I had an idea for Yama, which doesn't involve blueprints, but I would say Yama is maybe this is like nearby towns or leading up to this area, but Yama is instilling the idea of his character in the minds of maybe the correct people, so that his character, his profile as this like high roller, is a little bit like heard of, like he has a bit of notoriety, so that he's giving himself this foundation to walk on when he steps foot into this casino, to draw attention, basically.
Okay. So, yeah, spending a bit of time in town in that kind of persona, so that it's not just, oh, he arrived and turned up in the casino. It's like, oh, no, I've seen, some people might, oh, I've seen that guy in town kind of thing. Why don't you give me a deception check and let me know how well Yama's pulling off this persona, and describe to me, perhaps based on the result, what is the persona?
Well, I'd love to go for intimidation if you'd allow it.
Do you want some coaching in how to be a like high rollers? Paulie's been around some high rollers before and then stolen from them.
I'd say that Yama's more going for like this mafioso, silent
boss
and
shit.
deadly vibe. Yeah, so he's maybe not so much of a good actor, but he's really good at intimidating those people around him. So yeah, he's more leaning into like that vibe.
You should use Ratty and Nesbit as your like henchman / speaker. You know what I mean? So like they're the ones who talk for you. It's like, yeah, the boss doesn't want to be talked to.
I really love that. Okay, so here we go for intimidation. Come on. Oh, it's an 11. Can I use one of the inspirations?
Sure.
Sweet. Sorry, team.
Do it, absolutely.
That is an 18, which I'd love to buff by 2 with my saving face, since I have Nesbit and what's its face saving me, so that's a dirty 20.
Love a dirty 20. So, yeah, describe to me, you've got a couple of days perhaps before the heist itself, to kind of work on this persona and seed it throughout the local town. Sort of a port town, but there's also, it's almost like a city that kind of stretches up the mountain itself up to where the kind of river begins. What are you doing to kind of create this persona and lock it into the minds of the people here?
I think he's going around, and for really no reason at all, like maybe like paying off some of like the guards in the area, but it's a little bit obvious and in the face of the townspeople, so he's not really hiding it, but there's some like gold exchanging hands, and so he's really just giving this idea of criminal underground, money, mob boss, and then he's got his like sword on his hip, so there's the violence there. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Karu spending a bit of time looking around the outside. Yama spending some time in the streets with Ratty and Nesbit, kind of establishing this high roller, gruff, intimidating persona that you're here in town. You haven't just appeared out of nowhere. You're kind of developing that you are here for a purpose, perhaps. Paulie or Killian who would like to step in here?
I'll let Paulie go.
No, would you? I think we should work together to get this this architect's blueprints.
Okay.
It'd be
Well.
fun. So I reckon you, being the sexy himbo that you are, you know.
I'm not a
you
himbo. I'm smart.
Well, I mean, you also have the looks of a himbo.
Yeah, look. Flattery will get you everywhere.
I reckon you distract him while I sneak in.
All right, so I'm gonna walk on over and let my quickly change my clothes. Like, wait, just before this, did we get a long rest?
Yes, yeah. It's been a
Alright, cool.
couple of weeks. I think you've had a long rest.
Probably do
But
that.
I'll say
Oh.
that
Very
you
smart.
won't get another long rest before as the heist pops off. So like anything you're using in this like coming days, you're spending almost all waking hours kind of working on the prep, and so any spells will be part of that same encounter.
Yep, no worries. Okay, I'm gonna at the wave of a hand, my because I didn't get changed before we walked in here. I'm still in my my ship's clothes, we'll call them.
Mhm.
Really beat up leathers, but a nice flowy shirt. But it changes to look a lot more elegant. My messed up coat that has no sleeves now has sleeves.
Mhm.
We've given it some sleeves. It looks
They're
more like a
lacy.
tuxedo's jacket. But my shirt underneath has no buttons. Like there's like one button right at the bottom, so it's like a really deep V. I'm gonna walk out and be like, fine establishment you've got here.
So where are you? Just so that I've got it in my
I'm
head.
distracting the guy
So
that Paulie
yeah,
wants me to distract.
all right. I guess I'll because you didn't say where you're going or who you're looking for the architect of the casino itself, right?
Yeah, I'm just assuming that Paulie's pointed someone out to me,
Okay.
and I'm just putting the work on that guy. It may be the wrong dude.
Sure.
I think that's great though.
Yeah, no, I think that's excellent. So you're going directly after. Yeah, you do some investigating perhaps and find the architect directly. They still live in town. They're kind of a local legend when it comes to building and stone shaping. It's sort of a Zerfneblin, one of those sort of deep gnomes that have a lot of stone shaping powers. Was contracted on sort of 10, 20 years ago to build this casino. And in fact, I think Verity probably points you in that direction because this casino was originally planned with Verity and her partner Queenie, but they had a bit of a falling out, and Queenie took over. But yeah, so you're pointing in the direction of this deep gnome. This sort of it's got sort of that grey skin, no hair, pointy knife-like ears, and lots. It's got the kind of little glasses that have multiple glasses in front of it. The almost like the little extra gem glasses.
The Toy Story glasses.
Yeah, perfect. And so you're approaching. What kind of manner is Killian approaching? What are you hoping to accomplish here?
I'm just gonna walk over and be like, "Are we're in the casino, yeah?"
No.
Okay. Well, what is the setting that we're in? Are we at his house?
You tell me. Where do you approach this person?
I like to think I want to approach him somewhere that he has had a hand in designing.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So perhaps there's or he's midway working through a sort of like a restaurant cafe in town that he's been hired on to do a bit of a refurb of, and half of it's kind of in progress. Some of it's been done, but half it's still kind of in progress, and he's kind of overseeing the whole project.
I'm gonna walk over and be like, quite the job you've got yourself here. Refit. This town is looks like a very talented architect has put their touch to it.
Oh, thank you. Yes, but when it's done, this will be a full bowl But over here, we're going to have stones to carve to look like bones, and it's all going to be as if a bowl of bones, and in the center will be kind of a sloping down, so you can have everyone can kind of see in almost like a tiered seating and eating, can see the entertainment in the center. It's going to be marvelous.
Oh, so much like an amphitheater then.
Yes, yeah, that's the original kind of edifice for that, and then the bone action. It's almost as if this is the dog bowl of some giant canine that could scoop all these people up at any second.
God damn, you got a fine mind on you, my friend.
Thank you. Hold on, I need names. Deep gnome. My name is Dindril Sapphire Holder at your service.
Dindril Sapphire Holder.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to many sapphires, do you?
Family, yes, is a family name. Can't escape them even here on the surface.
Yeah, trust me, I know. Anyway, just working on anything else around here that might, or anything you've done recently that would. I do appreciate fine architecture. Where I'm from, it's pretty grim. Is there anything else I should check out around here?
Well, there's a number of the works in town. The government building, the mayor's office, is one of mine. Really imposes just the terror of democracy just right into the side of a mountain.
Damn.
The tyranny of leadership. The tyranny of leadership just on display for all.
That leadership, am I right? You know what I mean. I reach down and give him a little nudge.
Yeah, he's talking to you. He's somewhat distracted. Obviously, he's yelling at people who are yelling at builders and stuff like that. But he's definitely engaged in this conversation.
All right. Well, I'll.
With enough ale.
Are you a budding
against the
architect yourself?
horrors
You look more of the builder type.
Oh, no, I'm quite good at shaping things and changing shapes of things.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm very, very good at that.
What are your
creating things?
What are your materials? What are your prime materials?
Anything I can get my hands on, really. Yeah, I can change myself.
So
Would you
a
like to see
flesh
that?
architect.
Well, there's flesh. There's a few other things.
Do you restructure your cavities to store smaller creatures, and do they rent those spaces?
No, I turn things into other smaller creatures sometimes. That's always fun.
I see.
That one's quite fun.
Pay for this privilege?
I mean, yeah, a lot of if people are trying to hide from something, I could say turn them into a small bug and just put them in my pocket and walk away. I get paid very handsomely for this. Or I could turn myself into just a giant ape, and then I just smash the thing that's looking for that person.
Interesting.
It goes both ways. Yeah, it's a very, very complicated business.
Where are you going with this story?
I don't know.
Where's Paulie while this is happening? I want to know.
Looking at Killian dumbfounded, going, "What the fuck is this? Is this how he hits on people?"
I'm going to be really honest right now. All Paulie said to Killian was distract the guy. So Killian's just talking in circles. Hoping Paulie does something.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
I think that this sapphire holder, Dendril, he's kind of fascinated by the concept that you have pulled out of your own ass, and in terms of he's looking at through his architecture point of view of reshaping things, and then you start talking about shaping people. He's like, oh, of course, yes, people are unhappy with how they look and how they appear and how their bodies move. Thinking that it's that kind of magic. But as that conversation wears on, he's got an incorrect. You could tell like he's got an incorrect view of what you're trying to tell him, but also perhaps you're spinning your wheels a little bit, so you can't really just correct him and stop the conversation.
I love it. That's great.
Give me a. What kind of check would this be, Killian, to kind of keep this conversation going? Because you mentioned you're sort of trying to get his attention.
I am talking about magic.
Sure.
And how I can like reshape things magically. Could I make an Arcana check to like turn a chair from wood into stone as well?
I'll tell you what. You can make me a charisma-based Arcana check.
Yikes! All right, so that's a +5.
Okay.
So we'll just deduct 4 from this roll.
Sure. So it's something you're still proficient in, but instead of using your incredible intellect, you are trying to be social with it.
Yep. That was a... Oh, it didn't save the roll. Cool.
16.
It was a 16 plus 5, essentially 21.
Okay. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah, this gnome has... You kind of have his full attention, I think. And you're going for a while. Perhaps your wheels start spinning. You get a little bit of a second window and start talking about transmutation, magic theory. You're able to dip into, you've transmuted stones and metals before as well. So you can dip into that a little bit more as you start to lose him. So you kind of kept his attentions.
Hell yeah.
Very good.
Good job, Killian.
While this is happening, Killian's like waving behind his back. Or he's itching his back, but he's like giving a signal to Paulie to just do something because he doesn't know what he's fucking doing here.
And then Paulie is going to just go stealth. He's going to try and be sneaky and then look through this, Sapphire Holder's office and try find the correct blueprint for the afterlife.
Sure. Yeah, so he's probably got like a small station that's set up nearby to kind of project manage from, and you're able to give me that stealth check, and we'll see how you kind of go in and you move quietly. Find 23. Yeah, so I think you get in, you find a almost like a leather-bound journal with a bunch of different pages of basic layouts of places that this guy has worked, and one of them in particular is for the Afterlife Casino.
Yay! It's even a thing. That's amazing. I'll take a photo of it so that way I can reference it later.
Mm-hmm. I'll share it again if it's disappeared.
I like the idea that Paulie's done this. You know what I mean? Like he's got like a little goblin in a thing, a box, and just go done. Okay, great.
I prefer thinking it's Ratty. Just dragging Ratty around with us.
Well, yeah, I like to think that, you can't steal it without it maybe being obvious. So this is Paulie's like hand-drawn map version of like what he saw in the...
It needs more poo on it.
Mm-hmm.
The best part is...
If it's going to be a Paulie original.
He just has to show it to Killian and then it won't be forgotten.
Yeah. But he's not bringing the original out, I think, because you're doing the distracting. So yeah, You got a photo of it?
I have an idea. Yeah, I do. I think I have an idea.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
You can put the fake in its place. It's like an heist.
No, I've drawn it. As he said, I've just drawn it. I've drawn it in. So this is Paulie's.
This is like Paulie's drawing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. That's great.
Very cool. All right. Does anyone else have something they want to jump in? There are plenty of questions left unanswered. You have not really asked what you're stealing. You haven't really asked where it will be or why you're stealing it. These are all questions that, potentially could be asked, but also hilarious if you don't.
It would be funnier if we didn't, wouldn't it?
I mean, we have had a couple of times where we've done things without asking, and Paulie's been very angry at the end.
Yeah.
Well, as far as we know, we're stealing it to create chaos. I think the plan was to create as much backlash on the casino as possible.
I mean, I could just blow it up.
I know how. I think I know what we can do. I've got an idea. Do you guys want to hear my idea?
Yes.
Yeah, what is it?
Right, hey Dan, can you put on some more of that music? Because that music was really helping the vibe.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so you guys got the map in front of you. All right. So we need to get an employee's pass for each of us. All right. So we need to get one of us working from the inside. Now, there's a circus there. Do we know one of us is really good at doing cool flips and shit? Who do you reckon that is?
Yama?
Me?
No, I think it's gonna be
definitely
Karu. There's a whole thing based after it. All right, so then you see the circus there. You know, Karu could be doing some cool shit, flipping around, distracting the crowd, and then the rest of us will go into where the animals are, and then we'll cause a stampede that will then bring out to where the bar and the games are, and then we'll leave a small part of the crew back to drill a hole from where the circus animals are into the safe.
Where's the safe?
Wait, do we know what's in the safe?
Where the
Oh, there.
money sign. That's what I would have thought it would be.
That's what Paulie's put
Yeah,
there.
but-
Yeah. Paulie's like, money, 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 money.
But can't we just ask this Verity Kyle where it actually is?
I mean, we could, but that would be less fun.
Can we
think
just
Paulie
take her to the
has
map
to-
and be like, hey, point, draw a big X for us?
I think Paulie also just wants money, you know.
I also want to rob this
Well,
casino, guys. Okay.
That's fair.
She says, well, anything in the vault, anything else you find in the vault's all yours, sugar. They'll probably be storing the statue in there until the tournament begins. And then they'll be having it on display for all the people in the tournament. Now, we're coming in a bit late, so I don't have a way to get you in to the tournament itself, unless perhaps you could knock off one of the other contestants. But I don't want you to win the statue. I want it to be embarrassing for Queenie when the statue's stolen right from under her nose.
Wouldn't it be better then to steal it when it's on display for the tournament?
Yes.
Like, it's out, we cause chaos, whatever. And then,
Oh.
like, lights turn off, lights turn back on, and the statue's not there.
Yes. No, but this is cool.
I love that.
No, this is sick. I love this idea. I'm gonna write something in the chat so this way, like into our chat, and then that way we can reveal this later when we're doing stuff. Okay, guys? That way it's just cool for the video.
I was like, what?
Absolutely.
One
Yeah, I
of
was
those
like,
anime flashback moments.
Because remember how he was
Sounds
like,
like
you know,
it.
we can like, yeah, like have a flashback moment later as to when we did this. All right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing. Verity will show you a kind of sketch of the statue. It looks like this.
That's sick.
It's fucking weird.
Why does it just look like a golden version of me?
What? Maybe if you and Paulie had a baby.
I got wings too, you know.
Yeah,
I thought you had like bat wings. That's how I
I
think.
mean, you're selling yourself short with that. You don't look like that statue.
No, I look way better. You're right.
Yeah, look at
Thank
those
you, Kara.
skinny ass quads.
You're way buffer than
That's
that
not
thing.
you.
It was me before I discovered protein. All right.
Yeah. You before the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
You when you only did cardio.
Oh,
I mean, he's even not that athletic, so it's him before he got work done.
Him
No,
before
it's just-
injections.
it's he still works
Him
out.
before the
he's just
magic
not that
awakening.
athletic.
Yeah.
He doesn't do cardio. That's the problem.
All right. Do we have a magic? We have a magic specialist. Yes, we do.
Mhm.
And magic specialists do said thing in the chat without saying what it is.
While you're eating and
Or
working
maybe,
it.
or maybe we need to get an artificer. Maybe we should get a specialist artificer in on this heist.
I mean, we'll need some help, but I can do most of it.
Yeah, when you say specialist artificer, I think like Nesbit, who, you know, when you're saying this around, you know, you're back in your ship, maybe planning, you know, away from prying ears and all this kind of stuff. Nesbit's like, got you covered, sir. Whatever you need exploding, I'm your man.
That's what it should do. It should explode. Yeah.
To Verity, Karu wants to ask, how do they transport it? Like, is there a lot of fanfare when they move it from the vault to the display, or is it just like a very sort of quick, secretive thing? Like, do you have any idea what that ceremony's like? Because there might be an opportunity in that moment to do something.
That's an excellent question. She says I don't know if what the plans are. Perhaps if you could speak with some of the employees, they might know.
Yeah,
I would
is there
assume
a-
that they
is
have to
there-
move it from the vault across the floor to the tournament area, but it'll likely be covered or in some kind of container and guarded as it moves.
Yeah. Yeah, my thought was like how they do this is Katie talking, not Karu, but how they like move like the Stanley Cup or the Wimbledon Cup and stuff like that, where there's like a show, but then there's like or in some cases there's like this big show about moving it, or else it's like it's done beforehand kind of thing. Like it's not done in front of the crowd. It's kind of what I'm like wondering. Like, is it already going to be on display when people come for the tournament, or is it part of the tournament itself?
Right. Yeah. So her best guess is that it will be on display once the tournament, like by the time the tournament begins. By the time the evening commences, it will be on display. They'll have done all the prep. So it's like you walk in and you see it there on display, kind of thing.
I think Karu will. Sorry, Timmy, you go.
No, let's try find the casino employees, like, after hours bar, and get some of them drunk and then griping about stuff. And I was wondering too if they're actually cheating, if the casino is like cheating in any of the games. So like we could even highlight the fact that they're not playing fair, maybe.
After hours bar be called the lock and barrel.
Loading decks, you know what I mean, with like, more cards that favor the house.
I wonder if I can get a job as I wonder if they're hiring.
Oh my god, you as a croupier with the tentacles?
Yeah.
For craps.
Karu's gonna ask for jobs.
Yes.
Ask if they're hiring.
You can be a circus performer / dealer.
So no check necessary to inquire about the jobs. You find a job ad. They're always hiring. They always need staff, and it actually says like tieflings prioritized. And when you get into the job, you chat with them, and they explain to you, because it's a Nine Hells casino vibe, all the staff. But it's advertised as an all tiefling employee, like an all tiefling casino.
Sick.
However, the fact that they're willing to talk to you, and you notice some of the other people going in for the interview are also not tieflings. It seems like they're okay with, putting some fake horns on a few people and painting their skin to kind of look, tiefling-esque, to kind of just get the vibe right. At least they're not hardline stance on tieflings only.
Can
Maybe
Karu
they're also like into the tentacles.
I was gonna say,
what about horned arrow Cochranes?
I was like, what if Karu like makes his tentacles like stand up like this on his head, and he's like,
Sure, yeah.
if anything, these are conversation pieces. Like people are like, wow, what kind of tiefling are you? And you're like, what kind of tiefling do you think I am? And this is fucking
yeah. What level of hell is the weird wet level?
Soft horn one.
Honestly, it's the lowest one.
The deep levels.
It's the one they don't talk about.
Below sea level for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think, what kind of check do you think would be appropriate here for Karu to kind of insinuate his way in to become a trainee in this casino?
Oh God, I don't have any good ones. I feel like it would be a charismatic thing, like
a deception, or
he's trying to. Yeah, I don't think he's just kind of putting his best face forward. He's essentially, it's a job interview, so it's like it's not. I know it's a -1, but it's kind of a performance, I think.
Sure, yeah. Like, I'm excited to be here and start this new job. I mean, that's a performance and a half, isn't it?
Tell me about it.
I mean,
Yes.
a -1's not great. I would also, throw open the floor if anyone wants to assist Karu in getting a job.
I'll assist. I'll stand there like, Karu, like you're so like he's just the best guy. He's so good at everything he does. That's my assistance.
I'm just gonna keep the -1. No, I'm kidding.
-5 now. Sorry.
Yeah, it's gone down. Yeah.
Yeah. By talking to Killian, who is a tiefling, you learn less about how to pretend to be a tiefling and make the job interview harder.
Yeah, I guess the only other thought I had was less of a front of house staff and more of like maybe a kitchen, like working in the like all the gosses in the kitchen kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All great heist movies. At one point, they run through the kitchen. So, I mean, like shit. What is it? Ocean's 8 was all about them poisoning the actress to steal the necklace.
Yes.
So I think maybe to change my angle, Karu does the horns, but then he sort of talks like maybe he starts to sort of show how sort of dexterous he is, and he's just like saying like, "Oh no, I'm good in the kitchen. Like, you want me to? You need shit moved? Like, I don't need to be front of house. I just pull me back a house. I'll be good." So he's kind of going for more of that job, which is kind of a weird pitch. So let me know if no. But I was thinking kind of like a sleight of hand to sort of show like the deft use of
Knife skills.
the tentacles. Yeah, even though that's only a +2, but it's better than a -1.
Sure. But you'll have advantage thanks to Killian kind of coaching you through how to get your horns just right, your tentacly horns just right, and hyping you up as you go into the job interview, it sounds like.
All right, let's see how this goes. Oh my god, I got a 19 for a 21.
Yes.
Very good. So yeah, you've got it turns out they've got an opening in the kitchens, so you'll be able to go in. Obviously, based on Paulie's map, the kitchens are kind of on a different level to the rest of the casino. It's kind of like underneath the waterfall itself, but you'll get access to the restaurant. You'll kind of be stodging in there to your first couple of shifts. You'll probably get access to the employee lounge, but not like the deeper areas of the casino itself. And you're given a bit of a kind of a run sheet on, they'll provide basic kind of chefing uniform for you. That'll have Afterlife Casino on it, like the branding. They take your measurements and so on, and they do advise you that obviously you have to go through security when you come to work, and just like the patrons, we don't allow our staff to bring magic items onto the venue.
Shit. Okay. Does that mean my ring? Like, do I take like all my rings and shit off?
You ask them that, they say, "Oh yeah, look, any kind of magic items that'll set off our detectors when you come in, you'll just need to. We can put them in a locker for you, and then you can get them back at the end of your shift. We can kind of store them in the vault, but yeah, we don't allow clients or staff to have magic items on them while they're working or while they're participating in the games. Obviously, there's been a lot of cheaters and stuff like that in different casinos, and you can't be too careful with Magitech. So,
hey, Dan, I put a thing in the group too. I just want you to look at it.
Okay.
Say yes or no.
Karu, though, you think that despite them saying that, and they're like, oh, they'll get to. I mean, you are sneaky. Potentially, you could sneak something small like a ring in.
Okay.
There's certainly the potential. Don't let they're saying they'll detect it. Completely negate that. On a meta level, I'll say like small items have potential probably. To
put it up my butt and then it won't be able to scan it. Done. And then the whole plan is thrown out the window when I can't get it out of my butt. The only thing I would say that I do with my newfound employment is that the point of what Kara is doing is he's just wanting to listen in on the kinds of conversations that are happening, and then from there gauging who would be interesting to sort of talk to, and then essentially reporting back to like the rest of everybody who don't have jobs, who aren't working for the man. Like who's more likely to be approachable in the sort of employer's bar, like that what Paulie talked about before. So Kara is kind of essentially like, oh, that guy Mick, yeah, he fucking hates it there. You should talk to him, and you should open up about X, Y, Z, and you'll get on his side. Like I think he's just trying to provide like, he's just trying to get intel on the inside. Like if he can gauge like, yeah, what entrance, where's this trophy going to come from? Who's going to be doing it? Whatever he can get. But basically just, you know, like when you play Hitman, where you're like listening to the conversations and they kind of can guide you to sort of ways to do things. I don't know.
Sure. Tell you what, I'll accept a couple of different options. I'd be looking at maybe a perception check if you're trying to keep your eyes and ears out for something in particular. Or an insight check if you're trying to see if you can get a, you know, who kind of hates their job, or what are the clientele like, you know, who are the high, you know, and maybe like an investigation check if you're looking for like ways in, ways out, or a guest list of who the other, who the high rollers at the tournament will be, for example, or something like that.
Yeah, look, my best one is investigation, so I should probably do that. Everything else is a +1.
Yep.
Let's
I'm
send
open for all
most...
the ideas, but like let's just narrow it down to one for now.
Sure,
yeah.
100%. So I think Karu maybe tries to listen into conversations, but he just can't, like, he's not naturally adept at that, so he doesn't really pick up on anything that's important. People are just complaining about clams. Like, fucking, this isn't helpful. So I think he turns to maybe looking at like who sort of are the sort of most common, like who does he see the most out of the sort of clientele? Who are these sort of people that when they walk in, they get treated differently, sort of thing. Maybe he looks for like lists, sort of like how I'm thinking of the Bear, how they have that big fucking book that sort of has all the information, and there's that one person who knows everything about everybody coming in. Like maybe he like peeks over, and also investigation. He's mostly just looking around for anything. Sorry, that's super broad. I can think more about this and you can come back to me if you want.
Sorry, investigation for people, though. You're looking for information on people specifically, I think, is kind of where you're getting at.
That's his first sort of like...
Who's important and who's being treated well, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, give me an investigation.
Normal roll. 18 for a 25.
Ooh, very good. The first thing you learn very early, you don't speak with them directly, but the person in charge is, you meet Queenie and you see her on the casino floor.
Oh my god.
This is Kari thing. Oh, sorry, cat in my...
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't talk. I had a cat tail in my mouth.
So she's like the Benedict from Ocean's 11. You know, she runs the place. It's her casino. She's dressed up to the nines. She's a little gnome, but she's wearing this sort of almost like shiny, sparkling ball gown, surrounded by devils and tieflings and so on, covered in sort of gold and shininess, shiny diamonds. You see that with your excellent roll, you learn from the staff that she worships Mammon, the devil of gold and greed.
That checks.
And where did I put my other notes? Here we go. You learn that the casino is bustling with patrons from all parts of Faerun in general, but the main one, or the main people who are coming, the tournament participants, there is an Anne Bellefleur, a Jetta Moore, Anne Bellefleur is a tiefling that just loves smoking foul-smelling cigars. There's a Jetta Moore who's human, sort of seems sort of like to have this childlike optimism and enthusiasm. Khan Iron Pebble, a dwarf that kind of grumbles to themselves and is kind of a bit of a slow player. Ladia Mizrim, which is a drow, similar to a lot of the other drow you've kind of met recently, very aloof, inscrutable. There's a tiefling who only goes by the name of Nightshade. A human named Ruthie Swifford. Another human named Whip Walsh. And a halfling named Wumpus Thistledown.
Wumpus. Love it. Cool.
Like Wampus is a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Being a halfling. He knows how to party.
So those you were able, with your excellent investigation, you kind of learn a little bit about Queenie, obviously the owner of the casino itself, and the fact that there's a lot of prep going into these tournament participants who will be coming on the night to go into the tournament. And you also learn they go through perhaps some of the prep of the night itself. A lot of it doesn't concern you because you'll just be in the kitchens. But you do learn that there will be a security guard standing next to the display case, but guests will be able to come up and look at the statue through the case. There will be a security guard next to it while it's on the floor.
Can I find out when the security are going to be served their food?
Yeah. I don't think that needs a check. I think you kind of find that information. When they're going to change guard duties and kind of when they usually take their dinners and stuff like that. You find that routine.
Yeah, I want to obviously relay all this information once my ship's over to everybody, and then suggest the idea. Sorry, I haven't read the chat fully, everybody. But suggest the idea that we could give the security who are going to be on guard tummy aches. I could fuck up their food.
I love it.
And they're suddenly sick and they have to leave their post, but then they're all sick and they have to leave their posts. Or at least the ones that have to guard, we might be able to create an opening for when it's on display. Just a thought.
I could help you out with making something, maybe, with a medicine or a brewing check, and maybe we can time it really well, that they all get diarrhea maybe or something.
You're being trained up in the appetizers, which are seasonal pan-fried fungi with garlic butter, and the spicy shredded sturge sliders. For the main dishes, they have abyssal chicken egg omelets, Otto's irresistible noodles, and Otiog steak, well done.
Mm-hmm.
For desserts, there is the Night Hag's Delight, which is a blackberry tart, the Stench Cow cheese plate, and then obviously the Nessian liqueur and coffee and tea. This is for people in the guests, but obviously, meals can be made for the staff as well. And they're also, just in case you need to kind of step in at the bar, they teach you some of the main cocktails that are on offer, such as the Gin Sticks, the Bloody Fairy, the Mephisto Mule, the Sulphur Punch, the El Diablo, and the Master and Margarita.
Also, Katie, that purring is so damn cute. Just I wish
Yeah.
you could see
this cat.
just the angle.
She's just staring at me
I know, it's so cute.
And she's right into the mic. It's hilarious.
Yeah, she's so loud.
Can you just move the camera down a little bit?
I can't. Let me see if I do it with my water bottle.
Yeah.
The face is really intense. God.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's ridiculous.
What a lap cat.
That's so cute.
There we go. I'll remove the Kara ribbon so we can see Katsu better.
That's important.
It's very important.
Very good. So you've got a bit of a plan. I hope one of you is writing all these things down because
it's going in the chat anyway, so it's good.
Okay, you've got your plans written down. Cool. All right, let's move on to someone else. Who else wants to jump in? So Kara is kind of spending his day leading up to the heist. working, learning sort of all the different staff, and also the clientele to keep an eye out for.
Do you agree with what I said though, Dan, about that idea? The first one, the very first one.
It was like very top of the chat now.
Yeah. It's been a bit now.
I think that's that's one.
They have like wanted posters up, like.
oh, that thing, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. If you want to like make that known that you are a notorious,
Pirate
thief,
captain.
pirate,
Pirate captain. Yep. Yeah, done. Absolutely.
And I guess you can make that known by, I'm sure the ETC has posters up of you as a wanted person, but not everyone takes it very seriously. People just get on with their lives unless they're particularly a bounty hunter or something. Though I guess you get word back from Karu that Queenie does take an interest when it is brought to her attention. So the owner is, they say, there's this Aarakocran pirate. Didn't you used to work with an Aarakocran pirate back in the day? And they show her your wanted poster, so you are known to the management. And perhaps if you want, they'll as part of that, they if you're happy with my train of thought on this, they'll point you out to the security and stuff.
Love it. Yep, I love it.
You're not necessarily barred, but you will have a close eye on you.
Love it. I want a close eye on me. I want a close eye on me. All right. Well, we want to go that and done. Paulie will enter the casino.
As
he'll
himself.
have a shit as himself. Yeah, absolutely. I imagine it like this. So he's on the river. He's on his own little boat. He's standing on the front of it, getting some of the crewmates to row for him, and he's like, "It is I, Captain Paulie. How we doing, guys? I'm here to gamble, here to party, maybe steal something. I mean, I wouldn't do that. No. Anyway, here's some money, and I'm gonna throw out 100 gold out into the crowd."
So I'm assuming, because we're not up to the execution phase yet, but I'm assuming Paulie's like saying this and writing this on the big plan sheet that they have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You just
So
turn
yes,
around,
but
giant sheet and a crown.
I'll just straight away remove 100 gold, by the way. Oh no, this is even during the planning phase. This isn't. I want to do this a couple of days beforehand. I want to rock up. Yeah. I want to rock up a couple of days beforehand and then show that I'm there. Maybe have a chat with Queenie.
Sure. Yeah. I think she's probably quite busy in that, like, she's running the casino. So she doesn't come out and see you, but you only have like a day or two of this kind of planning and staking outness. So I don't think you orchestrate to run into her. This is the day before. But she definitely, you learn that she knows you exist for sure.
Oh, perfect. Good.
So
I might as well have a little bit of a gamble while I'm here anyway.
Yeah.
It'd be wrong if I didn't gamble like a little bit while I'm here.
Sure. Which games do you hit up?
What do we got?
We have. Where's my notes? There's 3 Dragon Ante. There's Life and Death. There are slots. And obviously just sort of general poker. In fact, perhaps part of your downtime has been, you've been playing poker and making that money. I mean, you did mention it before.
Absolutely.
But there's general slots. Life and Death is a dice game played between the house and a player. And then 3 Dragon Ante is a card game.
Let's do Life and Death. Life and Death sounds sick.
Cool. This is me learning these rules as I go. To play, each player places a bet. Once bets have been placed, the house and the players roll a d20. If the player rolls lower than the dealer, the house wins. A player who rolls higher than the dealer reclaims the money they bet and wins the same amount for the house. So it's very like Casino Wars-esque kind of, All
right, 200 gold bet. Let's do it.
A player who ties with the house has 2 options. The player can surrender and lose half their bet, or the player can go to war, in which case the player must double their bet, and then the player and dealer both roll again.
Let's do it.
So rolling a d20.
Can 15. I somehow cheat? Like throw the dice in a certain way with my sleight of hand?
Sure. Yeah, you can give me a sleight of hand check, and I'm gonna roll a perception check.
28.
Jesus.
I'm a skill man.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you have advantage on this life and death roll. Oh, how much were you betting, by the way? I forgot to ask.
200 gold.
200 gold. That's right. Okay.
$18.
Very good. All right, you get your bet back plus an extra 200 gold on top.
Thank you. All right, that's all. That's it. I won't spend too much because I will keep gambling.
So, we can even assume that this is over a number of bets. You know, you're kind of
sure,
sussing out, you're making yourself known at the table. You don't just walk in, do one bet, and walk out.
Yeah.
You know, over the course of a couple of
Double
hours.
the money. Yeah, I love it. That's
Yeah.
good. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you've made yourself known. You've been seen by the guards, and I think there's perhaps even a moment where you're winning quite well. You're getting a little bit up. You know, you notice that the pit boss is kind of taking an interest in you. The sort of you see that he's a genuine tiefling, and you know, they don't stop you from playing or anything like that at 200 gold, but you definitely notice there's an interest in you, and that there's some talk, and then, you know, after a couple of hours, you know, you leave with the winnings you have, and you're not stopped. You're not.
Perfect. Good. All right.
When you're in the casino, I guess, because when you're actually in the casino,
I definitely want to say that I'm like checking, surveying the site while I'm doing this. You know, I'm not just gambling. You know, I'd be checking things out, looking at it. You know, like seeing if I can notice anything weird about the place.
I activated the wrong one. Let's do the right one.
Oh, it looks so cool.
Whoa. This is a detailed map. That's awesome.
Really awesome.
Yeah. So you kind of find the area of the docks, and the kind of main areas up front where there's even a like a small racing track where rats race against each other. And they're all named after different areas. So there's Avernus, which holds the 3 dragon ante-tables and the slot machines. Dis has sort of copper slot machines and the life or death tables. Mineros, which is the rat racing track where people are placing bets on rats. Bar Malbolg, which is a couple of bars, comfy cushions, etc. Tiefling bartenders. The Phlegistan Spa and Stygian baths. So there's like a bath area and like a sauna, spa, and massage area. And of course the restaurant itself. And if you did wander down there on your kind of your day ahead, you might, you know, see Karu
Is there
back
like
areas.
a lost and found? Is there like a lost and found, like where like people like lost shit in this casino?
I guess so, but it's probably actually, you know what? No, I don't think so. I think it's like you lose it, it's gone here.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
But because you actually go into the casino up front, you do find that they do take all magic items off you. They have a sort of like a wand that they pass over you.
Really?
And it kind of beep beep beep, and they take anything that has magic to it. They take off you, and they will lock in the vault and give you like a valet ticket.
Right. Karu, was there any like back way into this place?
I mean,
I guess there was the waterfall, wasn't there? We could use the waterfall.
Yeah, the waterfall's near the restaurant. Like the restaurant seems to be at the base of the waterfall. I did have a thought. Like, is there like a door that we throw the trash out through, like from the kitchen?
I love it.
Like where the skips are out the back, kind of thing.
I think for this kind of place, it's an incinerator.
Where? Okay. But wait, I mean, the chefs are going to be able to go out and have their smoke. Like, surely there's a little There's a little milk crate out the back somewhere where they can
There
sit.
has to be a milk crate, Dan. Okay, even in a fantasy world, there's a milk crate for chefs to
You
sit
don't
on.
get to change the rules of hospitality, Dan.
Yeah, that's fair.
In this
Look,
world that you've made up.
There is
Up
always
can
a
be
little
down.
area.
magic can be real, but there's always a milk crate out the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's got to be somewhere where, yeah,
With some chef
exactly.
who hates life. Oh my god, Katsu's face right now looks so cute. Just like no brain cells. in his head.
I
Yes,
know, it's,
really brown.
No brain
it's
cells at all.
ridiculous. She heard you. She's done. She's like, I refuse to be insulted anymore.
Yeah, I like to think there'll be an upper area so that you're maybe there's like another level here that's kind of up slightly up above, and there's almost like an outcropping on the edge of a cliff, on the edge of the cliff above the waterfall, that you can that staff can go to have a smoke and like really bad OHS, the milk crates barely fit on the ledge of the mountain.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
And like
Oh, yeah.
the you could easily fall off. There's no railings.
To be honest, that's actually very apt because sometimes you sit on those milk crates and think about the sweet release of death. So
So broken glass everywhere. There's a random dude that no one knows throwing up about 20 meters that way.
Yep. He's always there.
his name
Just
is
leave
usually
me.
Dylan.
From that
Yeah.
from that higher
that's out
vantage
the
point,
front.
you can see down the mountain into like the lagoon, I guess, where the waterfall falls into, and there's like there's party goers and stuff down there potentially. But it's just you just sit there and contemplate that you're at work while everyone else is having a good time, and all you can hear is the white noise of the waterfall with snatches of conversation coming through the pounding of water.
Yeah, I think Karu points that out to everyone. Like, oh yeah, no, there's the existential crisis for chefs ledge that leads back into the kitchen. We're not supposed to go out there, but everybody goes out there to just lament the fact that we're at work. I haven't quite got that privilege yet. I've only been here for like a day, so I'm not allowed out there yet. But I can open the door.
Yeah, they haven't taught you the super secret technique of leaving the door ajar, because it obviously like locks if you're outside.
Yeah,
Like it can only be open from the inside. But they haven't taught you how to like jimmy it open and like
Yeah, I haven't gotten to go out there by myself yet. Like I've always had to go with someone. Like they're like, you're not ready yet. You haven't earned this knowledge yet. And I'm just like,
you haven't earned Smoko.
I have to piggyback on someone else's smoker.
They have you peeling potatoes while you're out there doing smoke.
Yeah, I'm still working.
Very good. All right. Any other things you want to put in place for your plan? Any other knowledge you're looking for? Well, also it'll probably go until 9 o'clock here in terms of like the planning, and then next week will be the kind of execution of this plan. So
Fair enough.
Alrighty, so Yama wants to participate in this card game or whatever this competition. So he's going to maybe enlist the help of Sawn or Polly or somebody, but he's going to hunt down a participant and maybe tie them up, knock them out, so that he can take their place.
You don't need to banish everybody. Stop banishing everybody.
It's fun, okay? It's
I
the fastest-
know.
I don't need to waste any rope. I just go.
But don't
And
you
they're
need
gone.
those? But don't you need those spell slots for later?
I mean, like, I could realistically,
You're
I could
basically
do
going to
it
be our
like-
weapon when we go in there.
I could do it like 6 times.
Well, then leave those 6 times in case you have to banish 6
I
guys.
mean, I can do it 3 times and it doesn't affect anything.
Okay, well, again, keep those 3 times. This would be like
do
if
it
I
once.
just wanted to grapple everybody. Like, I have restraint. I put the tentacles back. You put your pointy finger back that does the banishing.
I mean, if we get into a fight, I did figure out this cool thing while we were making our way over here. That now I can grow dragon claws. Like once a
Huh?
day. Make
That's
me
cool.
real fucking tired though once I'm done. But like
Well,
I
then-
can do it.
Save that party trick till the end
Well,
of the night.
it's once a day. I'm not gonna do it at the start of the day.
Yeah,
Just
that's what
save
I
it in case we
mean.
need it.
That's what I just said.
But like,
yeah,
I
let's
can
save that one
banish
for when we
someone.
need it.
How about no
We-
banish? How
How
about
long,
you?
does,
Banish.
how long does banish last for?
It's like a minute,
Yeah,
unless they're from another plane.
yeah. Concentration for a minute.
Yeah, like how
Yeah,
about
so
how?
let's-
Really throw them off whack.
Look, how about
For
we
that
just? How about we find someone that's Yama adjacent? Because I'm assuming Yama, you're like, the idea is like you're going to become this person, right?
No,
No.
no. My plan is to just muscle my way in, and look so ferocious that even if I have some other person's, invitation, they're still just gonna be like, "All right, you can participate."
That's why you've been making yourself out to be such a big deal these couple of
Love
days.
it.
It's
And the
because it's
captain-
like,
How
yeah,
can they say no to me?
yeah.
That's
And the
Love it.
captain's called me the himbo. Yama's just gonna muscle his way in.
No,
Like,
Yama's a guild, okay?
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll allow it. I'll take it all back. Don't worry. Don't mind me.
What's a gilf? Is that a grandpa? Because
Grandma,
Yes.
I'd like to fuck.
because Yama, I don't know if he knows if he has any grandkids yet, but that's cool.
You can just be a dilf then.
We'll
That's
just
fine.
assume.
I guess he does have grey hair, so it's the most likely.
Uh,
But yeah,
so-
so I'm going to maybe tie somebody up, knock them out, incapacitate them in such a way that they miss their boat, maybe into the thing. But they definitely don't have their invitation in.
Do you think maybe my investigation and finding out the like lists of people and stuff is I can point Yama in the right direction of a person he could take out?
Yeah, so there's a list, I guess, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 participants. The format is there'll be, I think, 2 tables of 4, and then and it'll become, as people get eliminated, and then they merge into one table of 4, and then finish the tournament. But yeah, who would you like to target on that list to remove?
I'm just going to pick. Well, I guess I'd prefer to pick somebody lesser known, just so that he's not anybody's friend. So maybe somebody we haven't heard of, or we could ask around and people are like, "Huh, who?" I'm going to take out that guy.
Interesting. Well, why don't you give me? Or why don't you just tell me which name you think you'd want to target the most? Did
Sorry,
anyone write
have you
down
got
the
a list
names?
of names?
Let me-
What was the last one? The
Oh,
last one
sorry.
sounded great.
there was Wampus
Oh, yeah.
Thistledown.
Yes,
Yeah.
Wampus.
Yeah, I'll
We're
take
going
a
for
Wampus.
Take a
Wampus.
Wampus.
Kind of want to be
Go on.
Wampus's friend, to be honest.
Yeah,
The
but maybe
halfling?
in some crazy side thing of events, we just become friends with Wampus after we bash the shit out of this dude, tie him up, and throw him in a dumpster.
Yes.
No, but we could put him on our boat, so we can befriend him later.
Yeah,
We'll
there's
throw him
nothing
in
like
the dumpster
kidnapping
on the
someone
boat.
to make them your friends.
I mean, that did happen in a
Absolutely.
movie that I watched recently. And if it happened in a movie, it's got to be real.
Definitely
so-
got to be plausible.
So why don't you describe to me the scenario in which Yama and or others finds where Wampus is staying in town and makes them disappear quietly or loudly? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's not from town and he's staying in like an apartment or like a hotel by himself. And I'll say that Yama, if Karu points him out, because maybe he'd know him just being on the start, is going to go up to him as he enters the hotel lobby, and he's just going to like muscle him into the elevator. When they get to his apartment building, he's going to like knock him out against the wall, like push, like real gently, like and then tie him to the bed.
Because he's really small.
Yeah, okay, I'll knee him in the back of the head, like it's an accident. So I'd love to use like a strength check or like athletics.
Yeah, strength athletics. I'm happy with that. Is anyone there with Yama during this kind of?
Yeah, I'll be security.
Yeah.
To
And
look
I guess
out.
Nesbit and Ratty are kind of there to being like, get out of the way of the boss.
I'm like the
Yeah, we're walking here.
the cool Yakuza guy. Like I've got all the tattoos and I've just got my shirt really undone, but I got sunglasses on, and it's nighttime.
What's the Simpsons character? It's like there's Jimmy the Snitch and like the guy who gets shot and he's like, I ain't saying where'd they shoot you? He's like, I ain't saying nothing.
Johnny Tight-Lips.
Johnny Tight-Lips. Yeah.
No, you know who Nesbit would have to be? It would have to be the Clamps from Futurama.
Yeah.
I just saw that roll, Kate.
Yeah, thanks. That was a natural one, so maybe Yama's gonna go, Killian!
And then I'm just gonna like, oh god. I'll look over at Yama and be like, boss, you need me to take care of this guy?
Yeah.
As Yama maybe like he's accidentally smacked his knee into the wall instead of him.
No,
It's his bad knee.
Killian will like,
Wampus
reach- like-
Thistledown has like seen he's under attack. You know, you've jumped him in the corridors, and he's like jumped on top of Yama and just started like trying to Joe Pesci
Wailing
him or
on him.
something. Yeah.
yeah, I'll like reach into my shirt and pull out a dagger and like reach for him and just try to de-escalate the situation, but with a knife. So also escalating the situation.
I was like, what?
Okay, well, do you want to give me a dagger attack or some kind of intimidation here, Killian? What are you doing? I'll also
let's have a look.
I mean, they told you not to use banish, but now might be a time for banish as well.
I was thinking banish too.
All right, I'm gonna use banish.
Sure. So no roll required. I think this guy jumps on Yama. You burn that banish in the kerfuffle, and then in the sort of minute he's gone, you're able to set up perhaps a bit of a net where he's going to reappear. I mean, he's
gonna reappear up on where Yama's shoulder was, so
Yep.
we'll just like hold a fucking potato sack. Got him.
Yeah. You scoop him up and are able to sneak him out. He also has his own crew, perhaps like a bunch of halfling cousins. But you've grabbed him as he's gone out to the privy or something, or gone up to the room to get something, and you hustle him out of the town itself and kind of get him back into the hold of your ship where you can restrain and gag him.
I'm just really hoping that one of his cousins isn't like the John Wick of halflings.
Yeah. But thanks for the safe book, Killian. Yeah.
Oh, good, boss. Oh, wait, no, we're on the ship. Oh, good, Yama. Killian's like leaning real hard into this. Every time he goes back, every time I go back to the casino, Killian's in like a new outfit. So like eventually I'm going to go in like a cowboy hat and
Love
just start calling everybody partner.
Love
Love
it.
Excellent. All right, so yeah, you're able to get Wampus Thistledown's invite to the tournament, and it doesn't have his name on it. It's a very elegant, gold filigree. It's almost got that like infernal contract kind of look to it, though you realize it's just an affectation. Like this is not some kind of infernal binding whatever. You don't detect anything devilish from it. But they've got a bunch of infernal script on there, and Killian, you realize that it's the equivalent of lorem ipsum in Fiendish. But it kind of like
Like
to someone who doesn't
ChatGPT.
speak infernal, it like ooh spooky.
I like look at it and I just like turn and throw it over my shoulder, but like I make sure my shoulder is like aiming towards Yama. Like I'm throwing it away. Like look at this trash. Don't need to read this.
No, we need that.
No, that's why I'm throwing it to you. I don't need it.
Okay. Yama pockets it.
Riddle. I'm gonna
Um,
change costumes.
Yeah, I would love to grab a costume too. Some kind of like golden filigree suit that
Absolutely.
looks very dapper and will give the illusion of dope mafioso armor suit.
You also notice that on the invitation, there is a buy-in for the tournament. So there is a cash pool prize. It's just the person who wins also gets the statue.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that to be able to cough up the money is going to cost you a treasure level from your ship.
Ooh, okay.
How much exactly is that?
So it's like an
It's a
abstract
lot.
amount of treasure, but it's something
Yeah.
that could, like pay the entire crew and, see you all right for a month or something like that. Like it's a sizable amount of cash. And to buy in, the house will take a cut, but then it's like the main pool goes to the winner. So, I mean, if you do win the tournament, there is also the opportunity to get the fake statue or like the real statue, then steal it from yourself. But also potentially, wealth from the other attendees as well.
Cool.
I
We're gonna be
could,
rich.
like, Killian will just be like, look, we gotta buy in with like a substantial amount of treasure, right? What would we think is substantial? Like a substantial amount of treasure, realistically, like what, a treasure chest worth of treasure? Like, I could turn some rocks into gold.
I
And we
reckon
could
they.
hand that over to them, and as long as they put it away within an hour, we get away with it.
Yeah, but it's a casino, and like they already take magic items off us. So what's the
Yeah, and they
chances
probably
that
have
they
some
have?
kind of.
They might have
This
like the
isn't a
vault
magic
might.
item.
No, but, like it's like it's illusionary.
It might be like-
magic.
No, it's
Yeah,
it's
they
not
might
that
have
either.
some kind of like.
What is
Yeah,
it?
but they might have some kind of like revealing.
They
I
can't
feel-
reveal anything that's been
Threshold.
transmuted, to be fair, because I'm physically actually changing it from one thing into another. It just changes back after a while. Have I not explained to you guys what alchemy is?
You might have.
We don't
but
know how magic works.
Look,
Like,
you
I
might have
could-
explained it. We don't really listen though.
Like,
It's
for the
not that
next
we
10
don't
minutes,
love
I'm,
you.
like,
We just
sitting
don't
there.
listen.
Like for the next 10 minutes, I sit
What
down
was
like
that?
cross-legged with my big cowboy hat on, like turning a chair into solid gold.
And Kara's like, "See, like 10 minutes, man. I'm already done." Like, okay.
But this is a lot of gold. Like this is a chair's worth of gold. We could buy a building with this
If we
as long as we
Sure.
move the
Yeah,
building
okay,
within
yeah.
an hour.
Yeah,
Okay.
but also too, we didn't steal it. So is it
No,
really?
but
Is it
but
really
we're-
worth it?
we're juking them to give them what they think is a shitload of gold, but it's actually just like poorly shit. You know? It's like it's real outlaw shit. It's cool.
and it's an hour.
It lasts an hour and then it turns back.
Gives us a very tight window. Like if it works.
Oh, that's
It's
actually. I'm writing something about that. That's actually not a terrible idea.
Like I could try and turn some acid into gold, and then it gets put in the vault, and then it turns back into acid.
And then
Burns a
all the,
hole in the floor.
Ah.
As long as they don't put it on top of anything, we're good.
yeah, then put it on top of the gold we want to steal.
Oh, Tibby's had an idea.
Well, please tell us. This is
Oh no, he's telling
Riveting
he's telling
radio.
us, I think.
Sorry, yeah, no. It's gonna be so much cooler when we do the plan, though. That's why I like
we
this.
could do that.
sure.
We could do that.
I could do that. I will
Again,
need
we
nose
just
plugs.
need an hour. Like
Yeah,
nose
it'll
plugs.
it'll give us an hour.
we can do it in an hour.
Okay, so we're not gonna use actual gold. We're gonna transmute stuff.
Wait, hey Dan, how tall is this statue in terms of cubic feet?
Sure, I'm just looking at your feature now. I think we'll say you can do what you're intending to do. Like I think it's within your power of alchemy
Sweet.
No,
A cu-
I've
a
had a
cubic foot
completely
is
different
pretty
idea.
big of
Yeah.
of volume.
Yeah, like I've had a completely different idea that I will put out here because it's got nothing to do with any of the other ideas so far.
Sure.
I could just zap in and turn it into feathers, and then just carry it out.
Well,
And then
also,
an
how
hour
big
later.
is big and heavy is it?
And then an hour later, it turns back into the statue.
But it would be in feather pieces if.
All right, I'll turn it into something lighter.
No, is it like so? If you turned it into feathers, for example, or I mean, I'm not sure actually if that's how transmutation works. Like you're turning it into another substance. You could turn it into bone, and it would still be its same shape but made of bone, right?
Yeah, okay.
I don't think you could turn it into
light
a.
wood.
I don't necessarily think you're turning it into another bunch of objects, or else you could say, "Oh, I turned it into coins," and then, do you know what I mean? Like,
I just wanted to make it lighter. So I could
yeah.
just carry it.
Oh yeah, I think that would work. Like you could turn, I think you're effectively choosing one point on the periodic table and then another.
Yeah.
So just for some level of Paul is gonna start eating a lot of fiber over the next few days, just so we.
Yeah. Good looking
a lot
out.
of fiber, like Metamucil. He's got the fantasy version of Metamucil. Okay.
And like a giant burrito.
That's on Heist Day. That's on Heist Day. A lot of fiber and cheese for the first couple of days, and then a big old burrito afterwards.
That's
So I
up
think-
with a bit of hot sauce.
So I think the statue is like the equivalent of the Melbourne Cup. Like you could hold it in your hands,
Okay,
kind of thing. Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that makes sense. I thought it was like me size that I wouldn't be able to lift it.
No, because it's got a it sits in a display case. I think it's big, like it wouldn't fit in a pocket.
Nah.
You know, but it's obviously like it's got a bit of bulk to it with the wings itself. But I think it's not quite as big as the AFL Premiership Cup, but it's like getting somewhere in that range.
Formula 1 trophy.
Sure.
Sweet. I could steal this so much easier than any idea that we've had so far.
Yeah, but it's no fun.
That's true.
What option does Killian put forward? Because I'm not going to listen to the.
Yeah, Killian will be like, look, guys, like, honestly, I could realistically, you know how I, like, zapped us? Like, Yama, remember how I teleported us ages ago? Like,
Yeah.
we just went, boop. I could do that through solid walls.
Don't you have to know where you're landing?
I mean, I can guess.
But there's also security alerts too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like
Because that's a security system.
it takes me like a few seconds to do that. Like I could just go in, the security system will hear a really loud pop, and then they'll see me there, and then they'll see it pop again, but then there'll just be a pile of shit.
What
instead of a
if?
statue?
So there's definitely a security mirror in the vault. I remember seeing that on the map. So you'll get spotted. My other thought is, like, what if they spot you in the mirror? Like, I don't know. My thought about these casinos is they want to protect their money first and foremost. So, like, wouldn't you have the highest measure of possible security against, like, magic, like teleportation abilities? Like, if you could teleport into the vault, I feel like they can't
What's
be
the
that
worst?
dumb. They have
I
to
think
have
that's
thought of it.
Worst that could happen. I end up in Avernus. That's
I
where
think
I'm
that's
from.
an excellent question, Karu. Would you like to perhaps investigate what the security features of the casino are?
I would love to do that. Oh god.
What are you looking for in
could just-
particular? I'm not. I'm happy to forego a roll here. Just describe
I
to
got
me
a
like.
I got a 26.
Oh, okay.
Let's keep that roll.
What in particular are you looking for in terms of security features?
Well, I think my thing is that they're pretty adamant that, like, not even staff can carry magical items in. So my thought is, like, what are their anti-magic security features? Like, yeah, teleportation is a thing that exists in this world. So what's stopping people from teleporting into the vault if they acquire a map of it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you find that you learn that the casino itself is warded against divination magic and teleportation. Though you hear rumors that it's only inbound teleportation that it's fully warded against, and that some of management have, some special exceptions for outbound teleportation.
What kind of do I get to determine what kind of special exceptions? Is it just like that they have like a certain thing, or is it just that they are allowed to use it, but anybody could technically use it if they have the ability?
In your time there, you realize that the boss, Queenie, doesn't seem to leave via the river like the rest of you do when your shifts are done. So maybe she has another way out. And so the rumor is, in the kitchens that, the boss just teleports out.
We need to find how she gets out of here.
But potentially, Killian, you could teleport out with the statue after you've done the thing.
On the upside, they're also warded against teleportation and divination. I didn't hear transmutation.
No, you didn't. Maybe could you run how many times can you teleport?
A few. Definitely a few.
My thought is
currently
maybe
4, 5.
Okay. My thought is if it's a thing you think we might use, maybe test it. Maybe just go into one of the toilets one night and just see if you can use it to get out. And then if you can, it's
Teleport to the
okay.
next toilet.
No, teleport out.
Okay.
Teleport fully out of the casino. See if you can do it. Because if you can, then potentially that's how we get the statue out quickly. Is that you grab it and you just whoop.
How tall is this? How tall is the roof for this casino? Not the ceiling, the roof. From the highest point of the roof. Would you say it is less than 500 feet?
Sure. I mean, it's a cave. It's sort of the inside of a cavern. So I think 500 feet is quite a distance. So I don't think it's that far.
So the top of the mountain over the
Sure.
top.
Yeah.
Wait, that's my my escape. No one. Well, Paulie could use it too because he can fly.
I can fly.
You guys, you can fly?
Oh wait, I probably won't be able to. We can't bring magical items in. This is really wild.
Yep.
I've got to go to bed too, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we might pick up the end of the planning next week. But I will say that, Killian, if you do go in a day early to kind of test this theory in the bathrooms, you are relieved of your spell book when you enter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's a magic item.
Your robe. And
That's a cloak.
your bags of holding.
Right.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Something to think about
Yeah.
next. Perhaps we will reconvene next week.
That's
I
so
will
funny.
hide the bag of holding in my butthole.
That's what Kari's doing.
Hide the bag of shelve the bag of holding. And
It's a
then
butthole
put
of holding.
every magical item inside of it.
Hold on. I'm just going to Google what happens when you put a bag of holding inside a portable hole such as a butthole.
Someone's surely thought of this already.
But we'll think about that beautiful mental image as we go into next week, and perhaps we'll finish up. We can do a bit of maybe offline planning, especially if there's some secrets you want to kind of reveal on the day, and perhaps we can kind of launch into executing the plan and kind of backfill any planning that you needed to have. So I think you've got a bit of an idea of what the plan is. And perhaps we can kind of get the shape of it by next week, and then I want to see it start playing out next week. Is that all right?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. That's going to be it from us, everybody. Josh, I know you were in the chat there. Very upset that Timmy didn't spoil what his plan is. You'll just have to tune in next week, and we'll bring you back then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.